Glad to have you back. It's the Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Now we'll look at another very important topic. The CNG prices have continued to surge. Currently is between 380 to 450 naira per standard cubic meter. Of course, there's so much concern because the price were previously at 230, and the increase in price came to so many users of that commodity as a surprise, because the price increased to at about 95.65% for private cars there. Of course, even though the PCNGI have stated that the federal government is not involved in the price hike that we're seeing in CNG, that it is purely a private sector driven. Let's put some context into this and then get someone who is a key player in the sector. Mohammed Bawa is the managing director of ABG CNG Conversion. He joins us right here in the studio. Glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk to us about the hike in the price of CNG. You are a key player in the sector. I would say that it's a private sector driven. You are a private sector player. Talk to us. Why are you people increasing prices of CNG?
Once again, thank you for having me, viewers. This is a touching topic. Like you have rightly said, it's a private sector driven economy. What has happened is that, which for me is positive, is that we have been able to convert a lot of vehicles in a very short time. Unfortunately, the commensurate infrastructure of refilling those vehicles were not growing at the pace that the conversion was growing. So the demand for gas at the moment far outweighs the supply. And as you all know, basic economics, when demand outweighs supply, you now start having issues of pricing. And the government, in its wisdom, has decided that it will not interfere by means of subsidizing or anything of that like, because they don't want to move away from subsidy of petrol
PMS are now subsidizing,
and then come back to subsidy
CNG.
of CNG. It's being allowed to be purely market driven, so that's why there is this present price increase from 230 naira to 380 naira.
And now it's moving to 450 naira.
For the 450, I will do a correction there, because what they've done is there are two pricing structures.
Okay.
If your vehicle is for passengers, it is at 380. If it's for goods and services, it is at 450. And this is a strategy that one of the private sector players has embarked on. By the time there is more infrastructure, more refilling stations, more availability of gas, that will find its level by itself. And not promising anything, I know the thing I said earlier of economics being demand outweighing supply, by the time there's an equilibrium, we should see a fair price.
I had the project director of PCNG, I had him on this program, and he told me that if you go to Kaduna and Kano and some other part of the north, that the price is higher at some places above 600 naira per SCM. But now, are we looking at what is happening in Abuja? Is it more like a market correction? Are we trying to balance up with the prices we have in other regions? Or is, like you rightly said, it's, more like making the sector attractive for investors to come in?
The last sentence you made is the right answer. At 230, and with the amount of supply available, it was not encouraging for the private sector to invest in, because every private sector person wants to put money where he's going to make profit. So, as it is, at the moment, with the supply that we have and the demand that is available, there is no way than to go up. And that is why it is at the 380. Regarding the statement by the project director, yes, that is what it is. As you go further north, it becomes more expensive, because that is due to the logistic cost of transporting the CNG to those places. Like I said, government has left it free flow. It's not, there's no subsidy in it. Not like in the petrol where you have there's a body that PPPRA, I think it is, that regulates the price, and then they have they pay the transporter for carrying.
But you people, you still have an NMDPRA.
Yeah, NMDPRA is a licensing authority. What it does is it regulates and it ensures that players in the industry conform to the necessary safety and standards that are obtained worldwide for the benefit of everybody. So NMDPRA is there, yes, but that's just purely regulation. There's no incentivization or subsidizing being done by NMDPRA on this front.
Well, okay, but how long will this price market fluctuation last? That is the major concern. I mean, we're migrating from PMS. We thought we have had an alternative that we can hold on to, and now the prices is beginning to drive us away from that sector as well. Good.
And the wisdom of the government, the president, immediately after removing the subsidy of petrol, created a body called PCNGI, Presidential Committee on CNG Initiative. And the purpose is to ensure that the transformation from petrol to CNG is smooth and to also assist in encouraging private sector to come and invest and create the necessary awareness for people to know why they should switch to CNG as against petrol. So that body is there. They're doing their best to ensure this is done within the shortest possible time. But like I said, yes, positively, we have converted a lot of vehicles within a short time. Unfortunately, the commensurate infrastructural facility to dispense the gas is not there. So right now, the focus is to make that infrastructure available, and they are working towards it. I'm aware that a certain quantity has been ordered already. Some are already at the port, and some are in some different stages of coming into Nigeria. So we want to believe, give or take, before the new year, we should see some shift in this situation that we find ourselves.
I've asked this question about whether we are putting the cart before the horse or putting the horse before the cart. Don't you think we should have built this infrastructure before we embrace CNG? Maybe we pay subsidy up to a point where we are, building the infrastructure. I know about the AKK pipeline that is construction that is ongoing. There is also a plan to have a gas dispensing center in Kano. The construction of that project has not started already. And do you think, I don't know, issue of infrastructure is a big deal, and we're starting this program like we're not ready for it as it is right now?
Well, in the wisdom again of Mr. President, President Bola Tinubu, when he took over power, this is from my own understanding, I understand that there was a budget for subsidy of petrol up till June of that 2023.
But he took it off in May.
He took off May. So, and when he looked into the coffers, monies were not there to continue these subsidies infinitely. So he decided to take the bull by the horn and stop this issue of subsidy.
Alaji, if we go into that, we may not leave yet.
No, I'm just telling you. So the matter of the cart before the horse, this is where we have found ourselves. The cart and the horse must be there to move together.
Work together.
Yes. And like I said, the Presidential Committee on CNG Initiative are doing their best to make sure that the balancing of the system is there. Private sector, the best cry is for the private sector to embrace this thing, especially members of the independent marketers and all of them that already have existing filling stations to buy into this, so that the existing filling stations can just have the mobile units installed in their places and immediately we're good to go. Just so that I add, I'm aware also that here in Abuja, another 4 or 5 filling stations are coming up before the end of October.
Okay.
So the queues that we're having will reduce. Yes.
Okay, that's a very good information there for users. You talk about subsidy earlier. There are people who say that the president should have at least requested for a supplementary to pay subsidy pending when we are ready. That is by the way. But let's look at how this has eroded the cost advantage that Nigeria enjoy on transportation. I mean, when the CNG was less, the cost of transportation was somehow low. But with the price of CNG going up again, I mean, the burden on Nigeria is getting more difficult.
True, but let's also be practical. It's gone up from 230 to 380. Petrol as it is about 900, 890, 900. So when it's almost...
There's still gap.
There is a big gap still between petrol and CNG. So when you talk about hardship, CNG still remains the solution to moderate this hardship. And like I said, once the business people invest into the CNG infrastructural aspect of it, hopefully the price would at least be maintained, availability will be there, and government, especially state governments, should also invest in vehicles, CNG vehicles, so that the people, the masses, their citizens can benefit from cheaper cost of transportation. I need to say that transportation is key. If you are able to reduce cost of transportation for people to go to work, for goods, foods, to be able to move from hinterland to the urban areas, cost of everything will come down. I'm not a statistician, but I believe transportation can take up to 40% of the cost of goods and services. So if transportation is brought down, things will come down drastically.
And that is where there is contradiction with the policy goals. The goals is actually to bring down the transportation. Critics are saying that the private sector-driven approach and the price hike itself contradict policy original intent, which is to provide a subsidized, affordable alternative to petrol. So what will you say to that?
When you say that, when private sector are not hijacking it, private sector believes in competition. So if you invest, I invest, I will want to outplay you so that I stay in business. So when private sector comes into play, you will see a fair price will be established. Government also has not just left it as it is. Like I just said, if governors can buy vehicles, CNG vehicles, that will help. Also, government assists with some infrastructure. The Presidential Committee on CNG Initiative, are not just doing putting enabling environment in the sense of speeches or talks. They're actually even assisting. I know they empower taxis, for example, with kits at zero cost sometimes. The e-hail riders are subsidized. All this is with a view to encourage and create more awareness on the use of CNG.
Indeed. Let's look at the conversion centers now, which is very critical. They say there is no fair distributions. Like if you go to some part of Nigeria, the conversion centers are quite few, while it does seem that some parts, over 300 conversion centers that we have, but the numbers in northern Nigeria is quite very, very few. What can you say about these unfair distributions of conversion centers?
Okay. I'm happy that you mentioned in the earlier stages that there's going to be a gas center in Kano. Conversion centers ordinarily should follow where the gas is. It doesn't make sense for you to go and build a conversion center in Maiduguri, for example, and there's no gas, CNG gas, for you to use in your vehicle that you have converted.
And this brought me to my earlier question about putting the cart before the horse.
Okay. So still, you can't be everywhere at the same time. There's a for example, from Ajaokuta all the way to Kano, there's a AKK pipeline that is being built, has been in process for some time. I don't know at what stage it is, but I know it has reached advanced stage of completion. If that is finished, that will go a long way ensuring most of the north central states are covered. Southern part of Nigeria, very little or no issues because gas abound there, so it's not a problem. It is the most northerly part of Nigeria that have issues, whether it's northwest or northeast. Yola was launched about
the Greenville.
Yes, by Greenville about 4 or 5 months ago. I'm also aware the same Greenville again is doing
something in Bauchi.
I can't remember Bauchi, but I know they're going to do something in Katsina by next month. They are doing something in Kano as well. I know also there's another company called Rolling. They are also going to not the same northeast. So it's still going to be a private sector driven thing. There is a fund also that the government has, that people can go and get access to funds as a loan, so that you can invest into this sector. So it is a matter of incentivizing the thing, and then also availability of gas. So once gas gets there, we will be there to do the conversion center.
All right, as we wrap up, Alhaji, you have been in the business. What would you say is your biggest challenges? Which area do you think government should simplify to make your investment easier, to make the area, the sector easy for you to operate in?
Infrastructure. PCNGI is trying, but government should do more on creating awareness and making the environment conducive for private sector to invest in the infrastructure of CNG.
Indeed, infrastructure is indeed very, very key. And we hope that government will do more, especially in this very, very important area. You have highlighted it, and a lot needs to be done in that regard. Almost everyone I've spoken to about CNG talked about infrastructure, which is indeed very, very key. Are we empowering the local players to provide us some of these infrastructures, like the kits, for example, conversion kits? Do we have to continue to rely on importation? Okay,
for a fact, I can tell you, we, for example, are already working on trying to assemble some of the kits. I'm aware also that NASENI, which is a semi-government body, has gone quite far in doing some reverse engineering and trying to assemble kits as well.
All right.
I'm also aware that there are talks about making the cylinders also in Ajaokuta, or that axis using the Ajaokuta steel company. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Alhaji, a lot to talk about, but time is always not our friend. I must thank you, Mohammed Bawa, Group Managing Director, ABG CNG Conversion. We must appreciate you for coming on Business Daily today. We appreciate your contributions.
Thank you for having me.
All right, we appreciate it. With that is a wrap on the show today. We'll be back again tomorrow. I am Yusuf Akogu.